Thank you. I have an amendment at the desk.
Please distribute the amendment, and we recognize Congressman Thompson.
Thank you, Chairman. I reserve a point of order on the amendment.
The point of order is received, and we now proceed to Ms. Shea-Porter.
Thank you. Like so many of my colleagues and the people I represent in New Hampshire, I am deeply concerned about the Republican health care bill being rushed through the committee process this week. Today's markup represents an opportunity for us to try to mitigate some of the harm this bill would inflict on our constituents. Many of you know that my home state of New Hampshire is on the front lines of the heroin, fentanyl, and prescription opioid crisis. Our communities are struggling, and helping people get treatment will be key to turning the tide. As I talk to families, medical professionals, and law enforcement officials in my state, I hear stories that highlight the dramatic impact the ACA's coverage provisions have made improving access to substance use disorder treatment. Thanks to Medicaid expansion, almost 55,000 more people in New Hampshire now have coverage, and I've met people who couldn't be in a recovery facility without it. All in all, since the ACA passed, our state's uninsured rate has been cut in half. The fight against the heroin, fentanyl, and prescription opioid epidemic is multi-pronged, but it rests on a base of widespread access to coverage and care. Now that base of coverage is at risk. In fact, experts at Harvard and NYU estimate that repealing the ACA's coverage provisions would cause about 2.8 million Americans with a substance use disorder to lose some or all of their coverage. Let me repeat that. 2.8 million Americans with a substance use disorder to lose some or all of their coverage. Why are we doing this? Experts in healthcare advocacy groups are saying that millions of Americans could lose coverage because of damaging proposals in this week's House Republican bill, including the working families that now have coverage thanks to the ACA Medicaid expansion, the older Americans who would be hit hardest by the Republican plan's increased costs, and the people suffering from chronic illness who could be driven off their plans by new continuous coverage restrictions. Let's discuss how the ACA also improved access to substance use disorder treatment for people who already have job-based coverage. Thanks to the ACA, employer-sponsored plans now must cover treatment for behavioral health and substance use disorder, just the same as they would cover any other medical service. These parity protections mean insurers must cover treatment for substance use disorder with comparable cost sharing. No more surprises like annual visit limits, higher copays, or frequent pre-authorization requirements and medical necessity reviews. My amendment would defend the gains we have made by ensuring that today's bill would not reduce access to substance use disorder treatment. Let's not pull the rug out from under people who are about to turn their lives around. I urge my colleagues to vote yes on this amendment to make sure Americans with substance use disorders maintain access to life-saving treatment. I reserve the balance of my time.
Thank you, Ms. Shea-Porter. Are there any other comments from any other member? Hearing none, I refer back to Ms. Shea-Porter.
Sensing the same trend is my understanding, and that this might be considered not germane, so I withdraw the amendment.
Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, the amendment is withdrawn. We now proceed to Congressman Polis of